Hey everyone, good afternoon. Hope your week is doing well. Welcome to Ask the Expert. I'm Martin Pratt, and today's topic we'll be talking about LinkedIn and how you can maximize your lifestyle with LinkedIn, which is something that probably most people will be like, "What, Martin? How am I going to maximize my lifestyle with LinkedIn?" And it's interesting. One of our past Ask the Expert, Shara Ruffington, she has achieved a lot with her LinkedIn, and we're going to probably start off with just where she's at. But before we do, I want to make sure we understand a couple things about social media and also about content creation. And so, with social media, the key word is social, right? So, what are we doing that is social? Are we asking for people to support us? Are we asking for customers to buy our product? Are we asking for a job via social media? Is that what we're doing? Or are we being social like we would in a social setting, asking a person how they're doing, stopping to listen, acknowledging what they just said? Communication. I like to think of social media as that part. So my rule for social media is give first. Don't ask, don't tell, give. Either give your attention, give your time, and in some cases we call that social currency. So spend that social currency that you have. You may be a head of a sorority, or you may be your local community board leader, or you could be a committee member in your church. That's social capital. You actually touch some part of your community, and you're an important part of that. How you decide to spend the access you have or the position that you may have and share that position with others in the community is social currency. So, my first rule is be social. Don't ask, first listen, find out, and then you can go to either informing or asking what may be the case. Then the second thing that I love to talk about is what are the rules to content creation? So everything that we do has rules. For me, there are 5 C's to content creation and success. C number one is commitment. You have to have a commitment to what you're doing. So let's say, for instance, most of us know finding a job, it takes commitment. You get up, you're sending out a resume, you're checking your email, you're making sure you have a good headshot or a good resume, you're making sure everything. That's a commitment. You need to decide how committed you are to the content that you're creating and you want people to engage with for whatever your intention is. So, rule number one, commitment. Rule number two is going to be character. And character does not mean um, what your character of your personage is. Character means what character are you playing on social media. So some people will be, hey, I need help. Some all the time. Just, like, hey guys, I need help. Hey guys, hey, very rarely are they telling you about their success or are they telling you about other things that they may have learned. They're just, asking for help. So somebody, I call it the help me person. Then there's the hero person. This is a person that is lifting up their community. They're constantly just phenomenal stories about their life or someone they came in contact with. You feel after reading their stuff like, wow, this is just a beautiful world we lived in. Then there's the villain. That's somebody who's always talking about how, bad things are. Like the two hottest days was last week. Monday and Tuesday were the hottest days in the history of the earth. So if you know that, it's probably because there's a villain near you on social media. No. But my point is that understand what character you're going to play on social media. And then the third rule is community. Are you part of a community that supports you on social media? That can be a Facebook group, that could be the local, I don't know, homeowners association. You might be on something called Nextdoor, and you built up community there. But your community, for your content to succeed, you need to be part of a community. And then the next, and in some cases, the last, but in this case, there are 5 C's. The next C is going to be the actual content. So, what you're actually talking about on social media helps you to achieve your intention and the desired audience you have. So, if you have let's say you're a nurse and you're deciding to leave nursing and you want to open up a clinic. And so your content should be on the development of picking a location, the development of transitioning from your regular 9 to 5 to now being an entrepreneur and your own boss. Also, the different parts that means you need to meet with the local community board. You may need to become part of the local chamber of commerce. You may, so all these things. So we should hear that through your journey on social media. And then the final C for content success, especially on LinkedIn, we talked about, commitment, character, community, content. And the fifth C, the most important C, is consistency. You have to be consistent. I mean, without consistency, you're not going to succeed. I want to shout out to Danielle. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you some folks on LinkedIn specifically, because that's what we're talking about. Today's topic is LinkedIn and how you can succeed on LinkedIn with your lifestyle. So that means, are you on LinkedIn for finding a job? Is that what you're on LinkedIn for? Are you on LinkedIn to get more customers and build your brand? Why are you on LinkedIn? And so, funny thing is, this is literally my LinkedIn page that I just opened up, and it actually opens up to a really good person. So Danielle McGee. Danielle is the CEO and founder of a community, a huge community that she's built up over the last 3 to 5 years. That community is the Black Business Boom community. And what that is that she has a community that has a lot of Black businesses, almost like a chamber of commerce. They're started specifically in Nashville, but she went from Nashville to to creating her own site, and it started as a Facebook group, and then went to LinkedIn, and then she now has her own website, which has much more things in it than just a community. She has all these things. So anyway, going back to Danielle, what is Danielle's content on LinkedIn? What is she sharing? So imagine now, she has a group already. She's built a community, but what is her content like? Look what Danielle's talking about. I had one email and 2 meetings today that proved to me that the right opportunities and people will be sent to fulfill a mission. She does say what she's dealing with. Send prayers up. 2 people are dear to her are in the hospital. I need good vibes because I'm a little mentally exhausted. She's being very transparent about where she's at. So remember, the title of our space is to maximize your lifestyle with LinkedIn. In probably 2010 or 2012, this kind of content would be something that would be frowned upon, and Danielle would be in the minority of people posting this content on LinkedIn. However, that is not the case today. No. This is authentically who you are, and this helps you build community. people unite around this type of post and say, like I'm going to say, as Jacques Dean said, I'm going to say, giving you blessings and prayer for continued success. Hey, Brother Tony. Shout out to Brother Tony listening. I believe from Arizona. Thanks for listening, Brother Tony. Appreciate you. And so when I'm communicating to Danielle, I'm communicating based on the messaging that she has put forth. But I also follow her and her success that she has achieved. So I want to make sure I encourage her and keep her built up, but at the same time also acknowledge that wherever she's going through right now is not exactly where she has to land. And so if you look at Danielle's post historically, you'll see there has been a lot of success in those posts. She was just covered in a newspaper article and stuff like that. So she talks about the SBA loan because, again, she's a business leader of a community. So her content follows her self, her showing up authentically as herself. And that works for Danielle. That works really well. But keep in mind, she has built up a community since 2018, which is why one of the 5 C's for you to succeed and maximize your lifestyle is to either be part of a community or create community with your content, whether it's on LinkedIn or any other place. But we're talking about maximizing your lifestyle. Okay. So let's say you're on LinkedIn to get a job, right? So one of the first people I tell you to go to and follow on LinkedIn is a young man by the name of Jacob Levy. And Jacob is a really good, I'll say, neighbor on LinkedIn. What Jacob has on LinkedIn is he has why isn't that? So let me see. Let me try to stop sharing. So I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. And so Jacob Levy, and I'm going to share my screen in a few seconds, get back to LinkedIn. Jacob Levy has on his LinkedIn page, so it's the word Jacob and Levy, he has a guide for free to help you understand the words that you should use, the keywords, so you can find the job you want and or be found by job recruiters in the city that you are in. So one of the most interesting things about LinkedIn that we don't talk about, most people don't know, we're just not exposed to, is what does LinkedIn sell? What does LinkedIn really do and what do they sell? And so I'm going to go back to sharing my screen and yeah, good. So LinkedIn sells something called economic data. And so you're like, well, what is the economic data, Martin? What are you talking about? So this page right here that I'm going to show, this is you can find this at economicgraph.linkedin.com. And so LinkedIn sells the data around how we maneuver through our work and our jobs. And because it's 930 million people on LinkedIn and 63 million companies, this is a very unique and lucrative data set that they're selling to states, cities, and countries. There's nobody that has this access to this data the way that LinkedIn does, whether it's, as you see on the screen, skills, workforce, global green, all that stuff. Because, and you see here, we have, the League of Cities, the World Economic Forum, the World Bank. This data is very interesting, and it's one of the few places you can find all of it in one place. So that's what LinkedIn sells. So keeping that in mind, that the data around us getting jobs is important to the algorithm of LinkedIn so they can sell that information. Got it, right? Okay, cool. So let's look up Jacob, as I said, Jacob Levy. And let's go to Jacob Levy on LinkedIn. Jacob Levy has created something called Searchable, and it's free. And Searchable, what he did was say, how can we as individuals be found on LinkedIn and get the job or career that you want? Again, maximizing your lifestyle via LinkedIn. And obviously, to maximize your lifestyle, you need to get paid. So when you're on your computer, you go to Jacob Levy's page on LinkedIn, and you download his free guide. Excuse me. And that guide is something phenomenal. I mean, I'm trying to see if he has it. He may have it featured. I don't think so. Yeah, well, this might be it. So, yes, exactly. So this is really great because we can see visually what Jacob says. And basically, what Jacob did in this free guide, it explained the importance of keywords, making sure that you have those key phrases in your LinkedIn profile so job recruiters can find you and hire you in the city that you're in. LinkedIn, think of it as a Google search engine for employment. But to stand out, to actually reach what the recruiters are looking for, you have to have that in your profile. And so, again, if that is something that you are interested in, this is one of the top people that I recommend people to follow on LinkedIn, download his free guide, and apply it for your career and what you're trying to do, what you're doing in your job search or in your career advancement, we'll say. Okay. So now one of our experts we had on the show was Shara Ruffin. And I know I'm spelling Shara's name wrong. She's gonna be like, Martin, you don't know how to spell my name? And she's gonna see this and be like, Martin. And I was like, yes, I totally missed your name, Shara. I'm sorry. There we go. Okay. So Shara has 56,000 followers, and she's helping social workers pass their bachelor's and clinical licensing exams in record time. She's a LinkedIn advisor, so she actually advises LinkedIn. Now, when I met Shara in 2020, she wasn't doing this. And the Shara that I met, along with everyone else on LinkedIn, was a Shara who was honest about where she was at. Which, again, you remember we showed Danielle in the beginning, that content, this content that I'm going to show you that Shara put up in the past, is not content people would tell you to put up on LinkedIn. They would say, absolutely, positively not. You're not supposed to put that content up. No one's supposed to know about your failures. No one's supposed to know about what you're not good at doing, right? You're only supposed to see things that you're good at doing, quote unquote. But what Shara did during COVID, what Shara put up that she is not doing well, like straight up, just she talked about how it was hard, it was difficult, and we remember COVID. We all were here, right? So after all that, and Shara, we both were in a program to grow on LinkedIn. We both went through this program. That's why I learned about her content. And Shara, amazingly, was just being honest while she was cooking or while she was taking care of her son. And she didn't have she didn't have a job. And so she was honest about applying for food stamps. That was April 2020. I remember seeing that video, like I show you on the screen. And she was talking about applying for food stamps right before the stimulus money. And then she also was studying for her LCW exam, which she failed. And she was honest about failing the exam. We were all here for, what Shara was putting us through, and what she was going through herself. But we were here for Shara. And then 11/9, 2020, she passed. And that was a collective sigh of relief for the community. Like, yes, sorry, you got it. And you see how many people saw this post. 3,000, me, it makes 3,520. And there was 1,000 comments and 26 reposts. And so, this is 2 years ago. I said, this is such a necessary blessing. And so she decided, because of what she went through, she was going to start a business of helping other social workers get their license. That was 2 years ago, and 6 figures back. Shara has made a lot of money now by being honest in her content, and she is one of the top voices on LinkedIn. So of the 930 million people on LinkedIn, Shara is one of the top voices for social work and for instruction and training. And you say, well, Martin, how did she get there? She showed up. She showed us who she is. She showed us who she wants to become. And she showed us all the hills and valleys as she was doing that. And that works wonderfully for Shara. It may not be comfortable where you're at. I want to show you another good friend of mine who has done really well on LinkedIn, Dr. Tammy. Let's see, there he is, Dr. Tammy McCotter. And so when I met Dr., she was kind of shy, and she was, like, Martin, I want to do this thing with LinkedIn, but I want to do it in a way that's me. I was like, okay, cool. And so I'm just going to take you through this video grid so you can see Dr. Tammy, and you can see the progress she made over the years, and whether or not she got. The other thing about content and LinkedIn, if you got 2 views or if you got 4 views, that's not the amount. Isn't the most important thing. You remember the last C? If you're just joining us, we have 5 C's: commitment, character, community, content, and the last most important C, consistency. And one thing Dr. Trotter has been is nothing but consistent. So if I click on this video, which is probably 9 months ago, she's dancing on LinkedIn. She's 9 reactions and 1 comment. But that's not the point for her. The point for her is showing up as who she is, happy in her space. And I will tell you this, Dr. McCotter has, if you go to her LinkedIn, you'll see through the 2 years that I've worked with her, or I've given her support and advice, you'll see something interesting. So let's see. She was, when I met her, she was this, which is a detention officer 1. Then she upgraded to a training coordinator. Then she's now the director of youth engagement. So she's gotten 3 jobs, 2 jobs since I've known her, showing up dancing on LinkedIn, the opposite of what they tell you to do. And I didn't say they, that's how it used to be. Since then, we've become a place of understanding, of grace and space, but also you need to center your LinkedIn experience in who you are. That's what resonates with people. That's what people see when they come to your profile and they look at you and they say, wow, I want to hire, Doctor. She's able to authentically be herself and show up and do these videos and take us through her life like Shara, whatever that means. And so that is the success of the content, that people are able to see who they are, be who they are, and would live on LinkedIn with intention. So your lifestyle, the maximizing part, you don't have to change. If you are into hot yoga or meditation and listening to, I don't know, Dr. Sori's financial meditations every day on an audiobook, or part of his collective that reads. I was looking for the book with this hat right now. The book Say Yes When Life Says No. But if that's what you're a part of, show up and talk about this great book. I just had it. Dang it. Oh no, that's not it. But that's your thing. Then show up and do your thing. That is one of the most authentic, attractive, and content providing. But we're going to go right now into some specifics on LinkedIn and what I want to make sure you do. So the next time we do this, I'll have, I'm trying to see, can you see? Yeah, you can see myself. Okay, cool. So you guys can kind of see my cell phone. So I'll kind of be able to show you a little bit there. Let me see. Okay. So if you are in the LinkedIn app, right? So I'm going to take this for the web, for the desktop and also for the app. So if you're in the LinkedIn app, you want to open your app. You want to go to your profile picture. Like, you guys can't really see this, but because it's not going to show you see so much. But that's a little icon of you in the top corner. Press your face, and you'll see another screen open, and it'll say your name, view profile. Click on that. Okay, right. So we're in the same. Oops, I'm live, so it's gonna show. Hopefully, I'll play. Okay, so this is my profile. Trying to see. Can I see it? There it is. Sort of, yeah. So you can see I'm at my profile page. You see the yellow. You see my picture. You see on the screen too, right? So I'm gonna scroll up on the app, and as I scroll up, there's gonna be a section called resources. Dang it. Not really showing. Okay, now on the desktop, you would have to go and edit your profile. So I'm gonna click on my profile on the desktop. See what I can get this to. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go edit my profile. I'm gonna click on my profile and see what it says right here. Resources. Creator mode needs to be turned on. That's our number one first thing we have to do. Make sure we have creator mode turned on. After you have creator mode turned on, you'll click and see show all 5 resources. What does that mean? That means that you'll have the ability to have these creator tools available. Going live on LinkedIn, which we're doing right now, doing an audio event, which we do, doing a newsletter, which we do, a follow link. If you don't have creator mode turned on, and you can see it on the app, is you'll see creator mode when you go to your profile. I can't really show you, but next time I'll have the phone sync to the screen so you can see it really well. But you want to make sure your creator tools are turned on. That's number one with LinkedIn. Number 2, let's go back to my profile. Okay. And so for me, what you see when you look at my profile picture, besides my head, and obviously like that, I'm trying to show it to you without the live. But what was here is a cover picture. Actually, I can show you with Shara. Let me go to Shara's, and you can see it there. So a cover picture, and that cover picture usually denotes. Oh, actually, I'll use Filipina. So that cover picture denotes what she's working on, what she wants people to know about, which is her Able Academy, leads, all this stuff. This is all information. Now, what she doesn't have necessarily here is a way to contact her. So this picture here, you can make it in Canva, and the setting in Canva is LinkedIn banner. Every other social media platform, they call this the cover picture. But in Canva, if you're familiar with Canva, if not, you can Google it, Canva, and you want to go into Canva and create a eye-catching cover picture, but in Canva it's called LinkedIn banner. Now you'll notice what happens. This color matches this color. It blends right in. It's really smooth, sees it right. Another good example of someone who has a great cover picture is I think little Ruben. And Ruben, he has a business that he sells access to Chat GPT, which is a AI prompter. So he sells that. So we'll notice what he said has in his. It's his dollar offer, meaning that he only sells that for $1. That's right there. And these are the places that he gets information from. So his profile picture matches or blends well into his cover picture. And then you notice that right here, if you wanted to go to buy that, he has it right here. So I click on that, it will take you to the website. That's that follow link that we want people to, the website link we want people to use when they're editing their profile. This bell right here also, right here, I want to talk about this bell. If you find somebody on LinkedIn that you want to build community with, I would strongly advise you to turn that bell on because it notifies you when that person has done a post, and then you get to post something underneath their post. So in my notifications, it's going to tell me that Ruben did something because I have that bell turned on today. It's going to tell me when he posted something, and I would be able to, if I followed that post, see right here, it says he posted something 4 hours ago. So I could just click on that post, say, hey, Ruben, thanks for this post. I appreciate you, blah, blah, blah. That's the start of building a community. That's the start of how you show up for other people on social media, spending your social currency. And I think that's all the time we have for today. But we're going to follow this up. This is something I do normally. I have a website called 15-Minute Webinar. So my stuff is really short and to the point. And, you get in and you get the information and you're able to implement it right there. So you see at the lower third of the screen, it tells you about my website. And then you can follow me anywhere on social media. It's the same name, LMJ Pratt. Feel free to ask me any questions. I am wide open for this community, that the D-Free community. And I want to take a moment to really talk about our D-Free conference leadership, D-Free leadership conference rather, that we're having on July 29th at 10 a.m. This is a free conference. So there's no charge, no cost. Then this conference is queued up specifically to help you navigate financial obligations and financial goals with a biblical view. So using the Bible, using the different texts and scriptures to help you really realize your financial dreams and goals, and to exist and create a lifestyle for you and your family and for your community that really blesses you. And so again, free conference, no charge, July 29th. And you can simply go to dfreefoundation.org. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to also stop sharing my screen. And I'm going to add something here so you guys can see it in the banner. And I'm just going to add this in here. So just really quickly, if you go to this link, you can register right now. And I would really recommend you do so because the amount of financial wisdom you're going to get, you won't get this anywhere else for free. Not to mention, there's also Fred Hammond will be performing. But you see the bit.ly link, bit.ly.ly /DFree23. And you get to register for this great conference. It's free. Stay at home, watch the conference, learn, get access to all the financial advisement and questions. And there'll be a question and Q&A part that you'll be able to take part of, either on camera or not on camera through text. But I would definitely strongly recommend, this is one of the blessings of this time period, that there's so much information available at our fingertips for us to take advantage of. So thank you for allowing me to come into your home, into your desktop or your mobile phone, and talk about LinkedIn and how to maximize. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out again on any platform. Just leave a comment, and I'm sure someone from D-Free will definitely get in contact with me. And I also am on all these platforms myself as being part of D-Free. So I will definitely see your comment also. So have a prosperous and blessed rest of your afternoon. And we'll see you next week with Ask the Expert.